How well do you think you know Elvis Presley, the real king of rock and roll? His smile, hip-shaking performances, and legendary music captured the hearts of millions. But what if I told you that the Elvis most of us know is just the tip of the iceberg? Did you know Elvis dyed his hair jet black to craft his iconic look, or that his twin brother's tragic death haunted him throughout his life? These lesser-known truths, combined with his untold personal and professional life, make his journey even more extraordinary. Today, we reveal the secret life of Elvis Presley through a series of rare photos, so stay connected till the end, because mysteries never come in society on their own. Vernon and Gladys Presley had their son Elvis Aaron on January 8, 1935, in the small Mississippi town of Tupelo. His parents were happy and sad at the same time when he was born. Jesse Garon Presley was Elvis's twin brother, but he did not live to see the birth. The Presley family was very sad about this loss, especially Elvis and his mother Gladys. A lot of people think that Elvis's parents, especially his mother, loved him so much because his twin brother died, leaving an emotional void that could never be filled. The Presley family lived in a simple house with only 2 rooms, which Vernon had built himself. The simple life Elvis lived in his early years can be seen in a picture of this simple house. It was hard for the Presley family to get by during the Great Depression, as it was for many other families. Vernon did a lot of different jobs to make ends meet, but his family often had to move to find better jobs because they were worried about their money. Even though things were hard, Elvis's early years in Tupelo were full of experiences that shaped him. He grew up surrounded by the sounds of gospel music, often attending church with his family. These trips to church showed him the power of music and lit a spark that would become a lifelong interest. When Elvis was 11, his folks gave him his first guitar as a gift. This simple gift, shown in an old picture of Elvis with his guitar, was the start of his amazing musical trip. Even though Elvis's childhood in Tupelo was hard because of poverty and loss, it also gave him the creativity, strength, and deep emotional connection to music that would shape his life and work. In 1948, the Presley family made a life-changing decision to move to Memphis, Tennessee. Driven by the hope of finding better opportunities, this relocation marked a pivotal moment in young Elvis's life. Memphis, known for its rich musical heritage, introduced Elvis to a vibrant mix of gospel, blues, and country music, exposing him to sounds that would shape his distinctive style. As soon as Elvis and his family moved into Lauderdale Courts, a public housing complex, Elvis started to check out the city's cultural offerings. A casual picture from this time shows him going to church, which continued to strengthen his link to gospel music. Elvis learned a lot from the different countries and musical traditions that he heard on the streets of Memphis. He took in the energy of blues shows on Beale Street and paid close attention to the radio. This helped him develop a deep respect for the variety of music that was all around him. Elvis had a hard time fitting in at school, even though he loved music more and more. People often thought he was different from his friends because he was shy and dressed in a way that no one else did. He was still very passionate about music, though. Elvis had saved enough money by 1953 to make his first demo at Sun Studio. The demo was meant to be a gift for his mother, but it caught the attention of director Sam Phillips, who saw how talented the young man was. This one event would be the start of Elvis's fame. Being exposed to new people, getting ideas, and getting chances in Memphis helped Elvis grow from a shy boy from a small town to the future king of rock and roll. Here, his love of music turned into a drive to be the best, paving the way for the amazing future that was to come. 1954 was a turning point in Elvis Presley's life, a year that marked the beginning of his transformation from an ordinary young man to an extraordinary cultural icon. The key moment came when Elvis walked into Sun Studio in Memphis to record a song for his mother. That simple act set the stage for something far greater. Sam Phillips, the owner of Sun Studio, recognized something unique in Elvis's voice and demeanor. Together, they recorded "That's All Right," a blend of blues and country sounds that defied traditional musical boundaries. When the song was first played on the radio by Memphis DJ Dewey Phillips, the reaction was immediate and electrifying. Listeners flooded the station with calls wanting to know more about this new artist. "That's All Right" quickly became a regional sensation, signaling the start of Elvis's meteoric rise. Photos from this era show a young Elvis performing in small venues, often dressed in modest clothing, but his raw energy and stage charisma were impossible to ignore. His performances were unlike anything people had seen before. Elvis's signature moves, his gyrating hips and dynamic stage presence, became a sensation among teenagers and a source of controversy among conservative audiences. This blend of rebellion and allure made him an instant favorite among the youth, setting him apart from other performers of his time. Elvis's ability to merge the soulful essence of blues, the storytelling depth of the country, and the uplifting spirit of the gospel into his music was revolutionary. It wasn't just his voice that captivated audiences, it was the way he enjoyed the music. He made it an experience rather than just a performance. By the end of 1954, Elvis had begun touring the South, building a fan base that would soon spread across the nation. His early work at Sun Studio laid the foundation for a career that would change music forever. By the late 1950s, Elvis Presley had already become a household name through his music, but his ambitions didn't stop there. As his popularity skyrocketed, Hollywood came calling, and Elvis was ready to expand his reach. His acting debut came in 1956 with Love Me Tender, a film that showcased both his musical talent and his natural charm. The film was an instant success. It drew large crowds eager to see their favorite singer on the big screen. Behind-the-scenes photos of Love Me Tender show Elvis as both a focused professional and a jovial personality. Despite being new to acting, he approached his role with dedication. He was eager to prove that he was more than just a singer. While his performances were met with mixed reviews from critics, audiences couldn't get enough of him. Following this success, Elvis starred in a series of films that blended music and storytelling, including Jailhouse Rock and King Creole. In Jailhouse Rock, his performance of the title track became one of the most iconic moments in cinematic history. Somewhere it immortalized his influence in both music and film. King Creole, often regarded as his best acting role, allowed Elvis to display a deeper range of emotions, further solidifying his status as a multifaceted entertainer. While his films were sometimes criticized for their formulaic plots, they represented Elvis's magnetic screen presence and allowed him to connect with audiences in a new way. His movies introduced him to a global audience, many of whom may not have been familiar with his music. Elvis's transition into Hollywood demonstrated his ability to adapt and evolve as an artist. It wasn't just about acting, it was about building a legacy that extended beyond the music industry, cementing his status as a cultural phenomenon. When Elvis Presley was at the height of his rising fame in 1958, he was drafted into the U.S. Army. This important episode put a stop to his fast rise to fame. Many famous people of his time tried to get out of doing their duty or getting special treatment, but Elvis chose to do his duty as a normal soldier, which earned him a lot of respect and love. Fans and people in general were moved by his choice to serve because it showed he was responsible and humble. Pictures of Elvis from this time, especially ones of him in his military outfit, show a different side of him. They show the young star turning away from the spotlight to live a more structured and disciplined life. During his 2 years of service, Elvis was stationed in Germany for most of it. He kept up a strong work ethic and learned how to handle the pressures of military life. It was during this time that Elvis met Priscilla Beaulieu, a young woman who would become very important in his personal life. They fell in love when they met in Germany, and after many years of dating, they got married. Even after a long time away from his work, Elvis's fame did not fade. His friends kept supporting him and couldn't wait for him to come back to the entertainment world. While serving, Elvis experienced a mix of camaraderie and longing for his old life, but his time in the military added depth to his character. It shaped him as a person and influenced the trajectory of his career. By the time he returned to the United States in 1960, Elvis was ready to resume his place in the spotlight, proving that his star power remained undiminished. Graceland, the mansion Elvis Presley purchased in 1957, remains one of the most iconic symbols of his success and personal life. Located in Memphis, Tennessee, this grand estate is a sanctuary where Elvis could escape the pressures of fame and truly be himself. Graceland was a place where a man behind the public persona showcased his unique taste and extravagant lifestyle. The huge mansion was more than just a home, it showed how big Elvis's spirit was. Every part of Graceland told a story, from the fancy furniture to the meticulously selected souvenirs. And the Jungle Room, one of the most famous rooms, shows how Elvis liked to do strange things. With lots of plants and Polynesian-style furniture, it became a popular place to relax and even record music on the spot. Elvis's most prized items, such much as his fleet of cars and motorcycles, were also kept at Graceland. The many Cadillacs, Rolls-Royces, and Harleys that were spread out around the farm showed how much he loved cars. These things showed what he liked besides music and movies. Elvis loved his family and spent special times with them at Graceland. Photographs of him with his parents, daughter Lisa Marie, and close friends show that he loved the people in his inner group. The trophy building was full of awards, gold records, and other memorabilia. This building tells how successful he was and how long his work went on. Elvis's memory lives on at Graceland, which is still there today. People from all over the world still go there to learn more about the life and times of the king of rock and roll. Elvis was at his best when he was at Graceland. He had the skill, charisma, and power to make his dreams come true. The 1960s were a transformative yet challenging time for Elvis Presley. After dominating the music world in the 1950s, the arrival of bands like the Beatles and the rise of the British invasion shifted the music landscape dramatically. Elvis found himself struggling to maintain the same level of popularity he had once enjoyed. During this time, he focused heavily on his film career, but the repetitive nature of his movie roles and soundtracks failed to excite both critics and fans. By the mid-1960s, many questioned whether Elvis still had the ability to captivate audiences as he had in his early years. In 1968, Elvis proved his critics wrong with a career-defining moment, the comeback special. Officially titled Singer Presents Elvis, the televised event was initially intended as a Christmas special. However, under the direction of producer Steve Binder, it evolved into a full-blown showcase of Elvis's talent and charisma. The special featured Elvis performing in an intimate, unplugged setting, clad in his now iconic black leather outfit. This visual, paired with his dynamic energy and heartfelt performances, reignited his connection with fans. The comeback special was not just a performance, it was a reintroduction of Elvis Presley to the world. He performed both classic hits like Heartbreak Hotel in newer material, demonstrating his ability to adapt to contemporary styles without losing the essence of what made him a star. The program's climax, a powerful rendition of If I Can Dream, showcased his vocal depth and emotional range. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and the special was hailed as one of the greatest musical television moments of all time. This comeback not only re-established Elvis's position in the music industry, but also set the stage for the next phase of his career. It proved that even in the face of evolving trends and mounting challenges, Elvis remained a timeless artist capable of captivating audiences like no one else. The 1970s marked a new chapter in Elvis Presley's life, defined by his legendary residency in Las Vegas. After his successful comeback in 1968, Elvis transitioned into live performances with a renewed focus. In 1969, he signed a deal to perform at the International Hotel. It was later renamed the Hilton. It kicked off what would become one of the most iconic residencies in Las Vegas history. His shows were nothing short of spectacular, combining high-energy performances with elaborate stage designs. During this period, Elvis introduced his famous jumpsuits, adorned with rhinestones and intricate designs. These outfits became synonymous with his Las Vegas persona, symbolizing both his flamboyant style and his larger-than-life presence. His shows featured a mix of his greatest hits, contemporary covers, and heartfelt ballads, showcasing his versatility as a performer. Night after night, he captivated audiences, proving that he was still one of the greatest entertainers of his time. However, the Las Vegas years also revealed the darker aspects of Elvis's life. The pressures of maintaining his image and delivering consistently electrifying performances began to weigh on him. Coupled with a hectic schedule and personal struggles, Elvis turned to prescription drugs to cope, which ultimately affected his health and well-being. Despite these challenges, he continued to perform with the same passion and dedication, often delivering unforgettable performances that left fans in awe. Photos from this era capture both the dazzling spectacle of his Las Vegas shows and the toll it took on him behind the scenes. The residency solidified his status as a showbiz icon and set a precedent for future performers in Las Vegas. While the glitz and glamour of the stage defined his public persona, his resilience and ability to persevere through personal struggles demonstrated his enduring spirit and commitment to his art. Elvis Presley's life was not just one of glamour and success, it was also marked by many personal struggles that often stayed hidden from the public eye. Behind his amazing performances and chart-topping hits was a man struggling with intense loneliness and the weight of being one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. The demands of his stardom were unrelenting, leaving him little room for privacy or a sense of normalcy. As his career advanced, Elvis turned to substances to cope with the immense pressures of fame. These substances performances, initially intended to help him maintain his energy during grueling schedules or find rest amidst chaos, eventually became a crutch. This dependence took a toll on his physical and emotional health, evident in his later years when his once vibrant persona appeared visibly worn. Despite these struggles, intimate photos from this period reveal moments of vulnerability and warmth. They capture Elvis spending time with his close friends, family, and especially his daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. These moments showcased a softer, more human side of the king, a man who cherished his loved ones deeply and sought solace in their company. Remarkably, even in his final years, Elvis's commitment to his art never wavered. Songs like Unchained Melody stand as strong reminders of his unparalleled vocal ability and his capacity to channel raw emotion into his music. This ballad, recorded just months before his passing, remains one of his most powerful performances. It illustrates his enduring dedication to connecting with his audience. While Elvis faced significant challenges, he continued to shine through his craft, leaving behind a legacy of resilience and passion that resonated with millions worldwide. Elvis Presley's untimely death on August 16, 1977, marked the end of an era, but it was far from the end of his influence. At just 42 years old, his passing shocked the world, sparking an outpouring of grief from fans across the globe. Despite the tragedy of his early death, Elvis's legacy has only grown stronger in the decades since. Graceland, his iconic Memphis home, has become a place of pilgrimage for millions of fans who visit each year to honor his memory. These visitors, often seen holding candles during annual vigils, reflect the deep emotional connection that people still feel toward the king of rock and roll. Graceland turned into both a museum and a sanctuary, preserving Elvis's life and accomplishments while allowing fans to experience a part of his world. Beyond Graceland, Elvis's influence continues through tribute concerts, re-released music, and adaptations of his life in books and films. His songs remain timeless, resonating with new generations who discover his music and feel the magic that made him a cultural icon. Tracks like Can't Help Falling in Love and Suspicious Minds continue to top playlists, showing that his artistry transcends time. Photos of fans celebrating his legacy say the universality of his appeal. From young admirers to those who witnessed his meteoric rise firsthand, Elvis's ability to connect with people remains unmatched. His spirit, encapsulated in his music, movies, and enduring charisma, ensures that he is remembered not just as an entertainer, but as a phenomenon who shaped popular culture. Elvis Presley may no longer be with us, but his story continues to inspire and captivate audiences worldwide. Elvis Presley's life was a name of triumphs and tribulations, having an unmatched talent and enduring spirit. These photos open the door to the secret world of a man who was much more than a rock and roll icon. Which moment from Elvis's life resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to keep the legacy alive. The king may be gone, but through us, his story continues to shine.
shocking and emotional, and you know, it totally blew me away.
Did you know that Riley Keough has found herself in the midst of shocking legal battles over Graceland and personal struggles that would challenge anyone? From unexpected disputes to deep family secrets, there's more unfolding behind the scenes than most people realize. We'll take a closer look at the hidden world of the Presley family, shedding light on the intense legal battles Riley is facing and the secrets that have emerged. Stay tuned until the end. You won't believe the twists that await.